Joining us now as Hall of Fame running back and Super Bowl champion with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Bus, Jerome Bettis. Jerome, the NFL season is almost here, so we need your take on some of the players, some of the games, some of the storylines we are all looking forward to watching when the NFL season kicks off. Again, you spent 13 seasons as a running back in the NFL, known for your bruising running back style. The position has changed a little bit, though, over the years. So who do you think is the best running back in the league right now, and why?
Now, it's a difficult, question for me because, I would love to say Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb, the physical downhill runners. But because the way the game has changed, I have to go with right now Alvin Kamara in terms of what he's able to do receiving the football, what he's able to do running the football, in between the tackles, outside the tackles. He can throw it. He can do it all. So I think as a complete running back, Alvin Kamara is definitely the guy.
Yeah, for sure. Christian McCaffrey's another one of those guys who could do all of that.
Yeah, the problem, I would love to say Christian McCaffrey, but he's been hurt off the field. So when you say who's the best, you got to go with a guy who just did it last year, who's fresh in your mind. We've got to go back a while for Christian, only because he's been banged up. I think he is sensational, dynamic, one of the best in the league when healthy. That's the only thing you have to say because he wasn't out there. Just like Saquon Barkley, I want to put him in the conversation. But he didn't play last year, so I can't put him in the conversation just yet.
Going to be a little bit more of a challenge for a lot of these guys to stay healthy this year too, Bus, because the NFL making the switch to a 17-game season. Do you think this is a disadvantage to more physical players like a Derrick Henry, for instance?
It is a disadvantage. Obviously, there's one more game on the schedule and one more game that you can get hurt. So it is something to think about, and it's something that the players have to be conscious of because that one extra game it does mean an awful lot physically. So they've got to do it. But once you're in the heat of the season, just one more game is just one more game, and so you keep going. Me on the outside looking in, I say, yeah, one more game means another 30 to 40 hits on your body, which can take a toll. But when those guys are in the heat of the battle, they're not thinking about it. Like, bring it on. So I think they don't have a problem with it, but me looking at it from outside saying it could be an issue.
Well, yeah, speaking of you looking at it, let's turn back the clock. What kind of impact would this have had on you with the way that you played?
Well, it would have had a big impact on me. Obviously, physically, it would have been a challenge for me. But, again, as a football player, you look at it one way. So I would have looked at it as, hey, this is an opportunity for me to get more yards, have a bigger season, bigger numbers. So I'm thinking about it, from the running back perspective, just like these guys will be. 17 games, man, I can definitely get to 2,000 yards in the season. That's what these guys are thinking. Me, as an analyst, I look at it and say, boy, it can be dangerous. You guys got to be careful. You need to think about this. So it's two totally different perspectives. If I'm the running back, I'm like, hey, I get a chance to get more numbers. If I am an analyst, I'm saying not so much.
All right, well, let's hear you analyze the defending Super Bowl champions right now. The Buccaneers, they open the season against the Cowboys on September 9th. So Tom Brady is going to be playing in his 22nd NFL season at the age of 44. I know, he's just 5 years younger than you, man. Does he and the Bucs, do they have what it takes to make a run at a repeat?
They definitely have what it takes. They brought back all 22 starters, never been done before. So you're looking at this team, you're saying, they got a chance to repeat, a legitimate chance to repeat, because now this team is going to come out with a totally different swagger. Last year, it was, we think we can. We've got a chance to. We've got Tom Brady. Now they're coming out saying, we're the champs. You got to beat us. And you're going to see a totally different football team because of the confidence that they're going to be exuding when they hit the football field. So I expect to see a very, very good Tampa Bay team. And when Tom Brady's at the helm, they always have a chance, regardless of what the defense looks like, regardless of what the offense looks like. With Tom Brady at the helm, you always have a shot.
And it's got to be such a huge boost now that he has like a full year in the system. You have a regular offseason as well. I remember last year they were 7-5, ripped off like 4 straight wins after that. When they were 7-5, people were burying them. They said there's no way this team could get it done. But now Tom Brady just has a whole nother year under his belt.
Yeah, and Tom is the master of manipulation. He understands how to motivate his team. And he motivates them through him, right? He said, hey, oh, you guys think I'm washed up? You think I'm done? My teammates are going to take care of me. They're going to get me going. And all he's doing is psychologically getting his guys ready because he knows he's going to be ready. And so he does all of those type of things to get him ready. And he has been on both sides of the spectrum. He's been that team scrapping to try to get to the top. And they were able to do that. But he's also been that player that's went for a repeat multiple times. So he knows what that looks like as well.
Yep.
So they have the benefit of having a leader who knows the situation they're in and knows how to get them going. So I think that's a great advantage that they have looking for opportunity to repeat.
It's more than 2 decades in. He's still playing with a chip on his shoulder. It's going to be one of the best games of week 1, but which other games are you most looking forward to here?
Well, for me, it's Kansas City and Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you go back to the AFC Championship game last year and you look at, what they were able to do. I don't know if that was the AFC Championship game, but it was a playoff game last year, and they were in Kansas City. And I'll tell you what, Cleveland came to play. They knocked Mahomes out of the game, had a chance to really win that football game. And I think they want that opportunity one more time. So looking at this football game, I think it's going to be dynamic. You got stars littered over the football field, offensively and defensively on both sides of the football. So I think this game is just going to be extraordinary. I'm looking forward to it, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that team is going to be very, very much improved compared to, I think, what we've seen in years past. But let's focus in on the team that you played most of your career with and won a championship with. That would be the Steelers. They have one of the deepest wide receiving cores in the league. How does having all of that talent at the wide receiver position actually help a running back like, let's say, rookie Najee Harris?
So what it does is it forces team to play the offense much differently. When you have that type of talent on the wide receiver position, now you have to address that. You have to change the defensive philosophy in terms of usually when you play the Pittsburgh Steelers, you want to put 8 guys in the box, you want to stuff the run and force them to throw the football. Well, now with all these special receivers that they have with the ability to make plays versus man-to-man and one-on-one coverage, now you say, we got to get these guys some help. So that leaves that front 7 vulnerable to the running game. And I think Najee Harris has an opportunity to really do some special things and make some big-time plays in this offense because everybody has to pay attention to Ben Roethlisberger and the passing game.
Yeah, I was going to say, there is no shortage of weapons there for Big Ben. He can look all over the place. Your former coach, though, Bill Cowher, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. He is joining you in the Gold Jacket Club. You've said before, he's the reason you yourself have been enshrined. But if you could play for any current NFL coach right now, who would it be?
If there was, it would be Tomlin, Coach Tomlin. I just love the way he approaches it, his attitude. He's very direct, matter-of-factly. I love that approach, and he's got that aura, that swag that you,
swagger for sure,
for your head coach to have. So he's definitely one guy who I would love to play for.
And one of the most respected coaches in the league as well. You can't find anyone who has anything negative to say about that, man.
No.
He commands respect from his players. You love it.
And the players love him. They absolutely love him. Talking to him, to a man, they love playing for him. And the guys who have played for him, they love having played for him. So I was one of those guys saying, man, I would have enjoyed playing for this guy.
One of the biggest storylines going into this season as well is how the rookie class of quarterbacks is going to fare. So you've got Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mac Jones as QBs taken in the first round of the draft. Who do you think will make the biggest impact this season and have the best overall career? Maybe they're two different guys.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. I think, when you look at it, Trevor Lawrence, I think is the guy who's probably going to do the most this year, just because of the situation. He's going to be started day one. Everything is developed. Everything is supporting him. So he's going to have a certain measure of success. It may not factor into wins and losses, but he'll have some individual successes in terms of yards and touchdowns and in relationship to the other quarterbacks. But I will say this: when you look at the other quarterbacks, who's going to have the full career or the best career? I think I've got kind of two answers. I love Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is going to be really special. Trey Lance is another guy who I'm saying they're bringing him along slowly, I think, and they have a team around him. And when you look at the young quarterbacks that are normally successful, it's the young quarterbacks who they insert into an offense that have playmakers and a team around him. So now he's able to go out there and do enough and develop at the same time. And I think Trey Lance has that opportunity in San Francisco. But I think Trey Lance is going to be a star. But I think overall, I think Mac Jones has a chance to be the best of all of them because of where he landed, the philosophy that they approach, and how they approach the game from a very cerebral aspect. And I think he has the ability to match that with his talent.
Yep. Yeah. It's hard to fail when Bill Belichick is your head coach too.
It's hard.
Just listen to the man, right? Which team do you think people are sleeping on this year and could make a deep playoff run?
I'm telling you guys, everybody's sleeping on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're saying Cleveland is going to be better than them. Baltimore is going to be better than them. I am telling you this team is going to make a deep run in the playoffs because the defense is a championship defense, and so they can stop teams. And then you have an offense that needed the running game. They were very one-dimensional last year. They went out and got the best running back in the draft, insert him. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you're going to have a more complete offense that can now run and pass. Now, watch out. So I'm telling everybody, watch out for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Man, that's a tough opener, too, at the Bills right off the bat.
But you know what? It's at the Bills. Now you get an opportunity to right a wrong. They lost to them late last season, and they felt that, hey, this was a game we could have won. So this is a great opportunity to show everybody that, hello, here we are. We're ready to go.
Yeah, and then a couple home games, and then you're off to Green Bay to face Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. How about a player you expect big things from this season?
I expect big things from Saquon Barkley. I'm really looking forward to him coming back. I think he's going to be special. And so I'm expecting really big things from him. He was just on the cusp of making that next jump before he got hurt. So I expect to see him do some really special things.
All right, let's get you out of here on this note. You know, it's one of the most important questions we will ever ask you. Who is winning the Super Bowl this year? Tell us, Jerome. Be real. Come on.
I think Green Bay on the NFC side edges out Tampa this year.
Oh, a little revenge.
The revenge game. And I think Green Bay beats Tampa in Tampa this year. Okay? Now, for the AFC side, a little more complicated than that. A little more complicated than that. I think it's going to be that 14 round robin. And because Pittsburgh beat the Bills week 1, the Bills are going to have to play the Steelers in Pittsburgh And Cleveland is going to have to go to Kansas City because they lost to Kansas City in week 1. It's going to be a rematch of week 1. Kansas City is going to beat Cleveland. Pittsburgh is going to beat Buffalo. And then Pittsburgh is going to beat Kansas City to be the AFC nomination for the Super Bowl. So I'm going Pittsburgh and I'm going Green Bay.
All right.
And yes, I am being a homer, 100%.
That's what we love about you. So you're taking the Steelers over Green Bay in the Super Bowl?
I am.
Mark the tape, baby.
Whoa. Was the question who's going to the Super Bowl? Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Give me who's winning the Super Bowl.
Well, see, I don't know. Did you say that initially?
Oh, yeah. Don't change your answer now. Don't you dare.
Well, I'm not necessarily. I never said the Steelers were going to win. I said who's going.
Okay. Well, now that we know who's there, do you want to take a winner between those two, or is this a to be determined or to be continued?
It's tough. It's tough because I believe Aaron Rodgers. This is his swan song in Green Bay, and I think he's gonna say goodbye after this year. So it'd be a great story for him to win a championship on the way out.
Okay,
but I still believe that Pittsburgh is going to win. So I'm going with Pittsburgh over Green Bay in the Super Bowl.
All right, man. That was close there for a second. I was like, man, we can't push this out in the Pittsburgh market if he doesn't take them. Come on. Hall of Famer Jerome Bettis, good catching up with you, man. And thanks for joining DraftKings. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate you. Take care.